Finally, it's here, the Google Nexus 6, but boy is it big. Wow, 184 grams, and if you compare it to the processor here, this is a Nexus 5. You see what I'm talking about. This is a different league. Okay, here we have 5-inch display and this is 6-inch, of course, but let's lay it like this so that you can see for yourself. Wow, you do not have to measure anything here. This is way better, bigger, and especially if you try to use it with one hand on the Nexus 5, well, it worked. If it has to, kind of, the thumb can reach most of the regions of the display, but this is something you cannot do on the Nexus 6. You cannot even reach the opposite edge over here, so no way with one hand. So this is a tab phone. This is a device you have to use in most cases with two thumbs. So I do not understand why Android 5, this is Lollipop, the first device coming with a new Android version, is not going totally in landscape mode usable. So this is something that should come urgently, in my opinion, but that's something different. I will show you a little bit more of Android 5 later on. Let's stick for a moment to the design and the features. Especially design is a hint, because you have to see this one here. That's the Moto X2, the new Moto X, and now you know why I'm showing you, because first of all, of course, Motorola built the Nexus 6. That's something we knew in advance, but see the design, especially that frame down here, that aluminum frame over over all the corners here and the edges, and that's something making a very, very solid built device. If you try to wind it crosswise, it's no way. Even if I'm going really strong here, you see not a single point where the glass is going down onto the panel. So this is a very solid build, like a brick. Solid build phone. I really love that already here. But you should know that this is a little bit a different camera, because, okay, you have that ring flash here, yeah, but to be honest, it's just two white LEDs down here. It's not really a ring if it flashes, but this is 13 megapixels video, photos, 4K videos, and optical image stabilizer. That's something I missed here on the X2. So I'm really hoping that we're getting a great quality of photos and videos. Of course, we'll test that in the final review. But first of all, you should know where it comes from. It's kind of a big X2, but a really, very big one. Yeah. Okay, coming back to the display, because this is something special. It's QAD. You might know that, for example, from the LG G3, meaning you have 1440 pixels by 2560. So you have an extremely high pixel density. This is 493 ppi. That's number 2, at least here in Germany, in our country. Number 1, G3, was 537 ppi, and this is 493 rank 2. So let me go a little bit closer so that you can see for yourself. This is not that big a text, but you can read extremely great, or think of photos and videos. That's making fun. Yeah, but on the other hand, you should know that all these pixels have to be calculated, so you need a strong processor, and of course the usage of power is a topic right here. So this is the first device, no, the second, I'm sorry, second device here in the country coming with the Snapdragon 805. First one was the the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Here Google Nexus 6 is the second one, meaning you have 4 cores, 2.7 gigahertz, and the new Adreno 420 with 3 GB of RAM. So this is the same configuration like on the Note 4. And now this is, by the way, the new task manager. Let's go for Asphalt 8, for example. Go here so that you can see some okay, crash, starting with a crash. Great. Oh, I turned it, so here we go. So this is kind of a gamer device, but unfortunately you have the problem that the battery is first built in, even if you can charge it with a Qi standard wirelessly. Nevertheless, it's just 3220 milliamps. That's not that much for a 6-inch display, and especially I've made some runtime tests, and this is in my testing laboratory something I'm doing a video, full HD, maximum brightness of the display, and in flight mode. And here the Nexus 6 get just only 260 minutes. That's very, very few, minus 27%, also 27% below the average of all smartphones I have tested in the last 12 months. So this is something very, very few smartphones are that bad, even for that big a display. So meaning, now let's stop it over here. Meaning you have not really long run times, especially if you're thinking of big display. In my opinion, most target group will say, okay, this is a working device for me, so I'm doing a lot of it, and here you could get in trouble, let's say in the evening, because this is such a high power consuming device. Even for the big display, and even if you have a Snapdragon 805, sorry, the Galaxy Note 4 still worked way longer. Yeah, and now let's get a little bit to Android 5, Lollipop, and that material design. You have seen something right here, and especially you have seen this one here. Normally you have that notifications here, and you can swipe twice or just with 2 fingers. That's something you know. And again, you cannot edit these quick things down here. Yeah, unfortunately. So again, you have to use some apps for this. And these are the settings, nothing big done here. And as you can see down here, you have now new navigations. I showed you that task manager here, that's home, that's back. Yeah, you have this one here I want to show you in comparison to the Moto X2 again, because on the X2 I really liked that you have 4 infrared sensors here on the front in all 4 corners. So if you're coming closer to the display, you can just swipe down here and have unlocked your phone. This is not possible here because there are no sensors on the front. Maybe because then the runtime would even not be a little bit shorter. But they are using just this one here. If you're taking your phone, grabbing it, then the lock screen will pop up. And let me do this again. And if you have it here, you can normally swipe down. This is something I never happened in the tests in the last half an hour or how long that device has been here. Now swipe, here we go. That's something. So you have to be a little bit in a hurry to swipe this and to unlock your screen. But it works. And of course, LTE, dual channel HSPA, Wi-Fi AC, Bluetooth for 1, NFC, everything. And that's something we all have seen on the former Nexus devices. Great features. Now coming to the prices. Yeah, you can't, again, you don't just have this slot over here. This is the only one. It's a nano SIM, so the very, very tiny ones you might know from the iPhone. No slot for SD cards, meaning you have to stick with your internal memory, and that's 32 or 64 gigabyte. And the prices, at least in Germany, are 649 or 699 euros, meaning you have a 50% different, 50 euros difference. So I would suggest to stick at least with the 64 gigabyte version, even if you have USB on the go down here, because you have roundabout on the smaller version of that 32 gigabyte version, roundabout a net memory space left, roundabout 25 gigabyte. And if you think of 13 megapixels photos and especially 4K videos, all this music stuff Google is doing. Think of that streaming and cloud services and everything. 25 gigabyte is not that much. So if you want to use your phone multimedia features, I would suggest to go with a bigger one, even especially because of that only $50 more. Yeah, hope I could help you a little bit with this first impressions of the Google Nexus 6. Thanks for watching, and please be so kind to recommend my channel and to subscribe to it. Thanks for that in advance, and take care.